is Nichole Fields, and I am the founder of I Etiquette and Professional Services, where we work with those that want to stand out by building their confidence to be the best versions of themselves. Today, we are going to focus on tea time, properly called taking tea. This tea ceremony originated in China with the Ming Dynasty and was later adopted in the 19th century in England when Anna, the Duchess of Bedford, realized that she was getting quite hungry between lunch and dinner. This ceremony was introduced to the African American community in New Orleans. Slave masters gave their slaves chipped teacups, teapots, and dishes. On Valentine's Day, they were asked to create a menu to celebrate. It was realized that the day after Valentine's Day, there was a great deal of rest and almost no work. So the slaves took the leftover sandwiches, desserts, and tea and decided to have a tea ceremony themselves. The first African American tea house was opened in 1916 by Mattie Burgess. In the 1930s and 1940s, tea houses were being opened all over. These tea houses gave a safe space for African Americans to come together to discuss community events, to make business deals, and also to share in the latest gossip. Some organizations that attended these tea houses were the NAACP, Women's Auxiliary Committee, civil rights leaders, writers, politicians, and political figures. You see, tea time is not just about tea or the light menu. It's also about spending quality time with people that you enjoy. Tea time is traditionally served from 3:30 to 5 p.m. The menu is typically finger sandwiches, scones, sweet treats, and of course, tea. Afternoon tea is different from high tea and royal tea. With high tea, you have a more substantial meal. You may have soup and salad in addition to a heartier sandwich. And with royal tea, it's much like afternoon tea, however, champagne will also be included. Now, ladies, let's take a look at the table setup. Of course, you'll have a teapot, a cup and a saucer, your plate, napkin, and cutlery. During this ceremony, you usually have fine china, fresh floral arrangements, and polished silverware. So this is the time to be very careful. Now, let's discuss the menu. Of course, the pot of tea is the featured item on the menu. You will have in front of you a variety of tea to select from. You will have black tea, you will have green tea, and you will also have white tea. And in many cases, you will be served seasonal teas as well as herbal teas. One thing that you want to remember is not to add condiments to your green tea or your white tea. These teas have multiple flavors and you want to enjoy those flavors. So do not cheapen those teas by adding condiments such as lemon and sugar. They will mask the authentic taste of the tea. You will also find an array of finger sandwiches. The finger sandwiches will range from cucumber sandwiches to chicken salad, egg salad, and in many cases, roast beef sandwiches and tuna sandwiches. You will find a variety of scones, and of course, my favorite, you will find sweet treats and desserts. To start your tea, we have to discuss your napkin. Ladies, the first thing you want to do is put your napkin on your lap. So you would open your napkin, fold it in half, and you want to make sure that the folded portion of your napkin is facing your body. When you're ready to wipe your mouth, you want to make sure that you open your napkin and you wipe your mouth using the inside of your napkin. Be sure not to wipe your face, but to gently fold your napkin over your fingers and dab each side of your mouth. Then you discreetly fold your napkin again with the folded portion facing your body. This is to ensure that any soils or lipstick stains are hidden in between the folds. Now, ladies, let's discuss pouring your tea. When pouring your tea, you want to make sure that you hold onto the lid of the teapot. This is to ensure that the lid does not end up in your cup or on the table and there are no spills. When holding your teacup, you want to make sure that you don't hold your head back, you don't tilt your head back and gulp your tea. Now, we're going to talk about holding the teacup. This is very important and it's quite easy. So, to hold your teacup, you're going to put your index finger in the handle and you're going to anchor your teacup, resting your three fingers below the handle. I know that we have heard that lifting your pinky is quite sophisticated, classy, and posh. However, it's not. It is actually the opposite. So we want to make sure that all of those pinkies are always in. Another thing to remember when holding your teacup, and you're seated, never lift your saucer and your cup to hold them. That is reserved for standing if you're at a networking or social event and you happen to have tea. When you're drinking your tea, you want to make sure as you drink, you're looking inside of your cup. This gives you an opportunity to focus on what you are doing and to enjoy the flavorful smells of your tea. After pouring your cup of tea, if you choose to add milk, be sure to leave enough room in your cup so that your cup of tea doesn't spill over after adding your milk. If you decide to add sugar, be sure to use the spoon that's provided for your sugar or the tongs if you happen to have sugar cubes. When stirring, do not stir in a circle. However, stir back and forth in the 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock position. Ladies, no clinking your glasses with your spoon. Gently place your spoon behind your teacup. In many cases, you may be provided or given a tea bag. If you are given a tea bag, you can squeeze your tea bag using your spoon and also rest your used tea bag behind your teacup on your saucer. Now, ladies, let's discuss how to eat during afternoon tea. You can use your fingers to eat during afternoon tea. You would take 1 to 2 sandwiches and put on your plate. If the sandwiches happen to be larger, you can use your knife and your fork to cut your sandwiches. Never tear your sandwiches apart. You're going to eat your finger sandwiches before you move on to your scones. Next, you're going to take your scone, again, using your fingers, and you're going to break your scone in half. And you're going to add your clotted cream and your jam to the side of your plate. Be sure to use a spoon to scoop your clotted cream and jam onto your plate. Then you can use your knife to add the clotted cream and the jam to your scone. I happen to like to put my clotted cream first and then my jam, but there's no specific order to follow. You can do as you please. Now, ladies, it's time to have a dessert. You would use your fingers to take a dessert. If your dessert is either sticky or too large, you can use your knife and your fork to cut it. Once you are done, you will take your napkin, loosely fold it, and put it to the left side of your plate. If you happen to get up before you are done, you take your napkin and actually put it on your chair. This will indicate that you are still enjoying afternoon tea. Afternoon tea is not just about the finger sandwiches, scones, and desserts. It's also about enjoying quality time with people that you enjoy. I hope you enjoy your tea and have an amazing day.